done an interview, and the last one I did was with Gentry Lemerond and her incredible quilting and her wanting to design a retreat around quilting. But today I brought something going off in a totally different tangent, and I'm so excited to tell you guys about this because I was actually part of the market testing group for this. I'm going to be introducing you today with an incredible lady named Carrie Farmer. But just before I do that, I wanted to tell you that this is being sponsored by Empowering the Healer Within, an incredible program that brings you through at least 3 different levels, which really helps you to build up your confidence and discover what your abilities are in a spiritual sense, and really have the confidence to shine with those abilities and learn new abilities, discover who you truly are on an entirely magical level. So without any more ado, let me introduce to you Carrie Farmer. She is this beautiful lady out of Denver, Colorado. I'm just going to bring her up on screen so you can see the loveliness of her and her shining spirit. Here she is here. There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, so Carrie, I met her through a beautiful paid membership on Facebook, and we had an incredible journey together, and I was just really honored to be part of her market testing group and see this game live that way. Carrie has developed a game called the Soul Life Treasure Hunt TM, and TM stands for trademark. So she's out of Denver, Colorado, and she is here to tell us a little bit about her game. And just so you guys know, we're not going to go really in depth on it with regards to the playing it. We will be doing that, however, on April 22nd on the free Zoom link that I am going to be posting in here right away. There we go. So the Zoom link that you see in the chat, and I'll put that onto the Facebook page afterwards so you have it. That Zoom link that is on there is for the free chats that are every Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern Time, and plus all the other time zones that are in there as well. It's a great support call. Next week's Penny Bell White, she's on there with Love, and we're going to be doing readings and stuff. And then the week following, on the 22nd, Carrie's going to join me again, and we're going to co-host that and bring that board to life with you guys and do readings with her board. It's so much fun because there's just so many different practical uses to this board. So without blabbing on a whole bunch more, Carrie, tell me first of all, hi.
Hello. So good to be here. Thank you. I am so honored. This is really lovely.
Right on. My pleasure having you here. First of all, tell me what brought about this game. I know you spoke a little bit about frustration about. Well, I'll let you say it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I through the trying to find happiness in life, I was following the traditional paths of, well, maybe it's if I, go to church and I do, my studies and I try to be a really good person, on and on. And, that somehow my life would have meaning and I would be able to feel that security and significance in life, that I mattered. And I don't know what it is about so many of us, but who struggle with that. And I really did. And so I was looking for a pathway that would make that happen for me. So through various journeys and experiences, doing everything I could, all the rules, and I still wasn't feeling really strong in self-love, self-confidence. I wanted and loved the idea that God loved me and that I was saved and all of those things, but I still was like feeling that unsettled, deep disconnection with the spiritual side of me. And so I, through a practicing the presence kind of teaching, I found that to be helpful. And many people look at that for maybe that's their guide. Others are thinking it's the Holy Spirit or Jesus walking with them or angels or what have you, whatever you're at. That's where we tend to gravitate. It seems like we want to feel a connection and a relationship. And so I also felt that my reason for being is a relationship, and I see relationships in everything. And so that's when I was like, oh, I just need a map, because everybody's theology or everybody's theories, or some people said they could see things or hear things, and I wasn't. And it really made me feel very alone and insecure and deeply like I was a failure or just fallible. I wasn't working hard enough. I wasn't doing enough or something. I didn't know enough. So anyway, so I just that pressing belief and hope that somehow I actually do have the love of the creator, and that the universe is a benevolent universe. It says it somewhere. And so I would rather believe that than the other things I was thinking. So I just, I thought, you know what, whenever we go into negotiations and both sides put it all out on the table, that's where I came up with, well, I need a platform, to put everything out on the table. I got to so sad that I got to the point where I was like, I will do anything, just tell me what to do. All I need is to know what to do and I'll do it. And still it felt like crickets. And so what I ended up doing was I said, okay, let's just take an inventory of my life and let's see where I'm at. So you know how like in chess, you kind of have these strategies, you've got all your parts and pieces. So at first I was looking at all the things that were wrong with me, but over time it came to be much more of a beautiful process where it was, let's look at everything that's right with you. And let's see what you have done. And let's see what is going well. And so it's, for me, this is, while it's a spiritual tool, it's turned into quite a life coaching tool for me, a modality that speaks to my heart and soul, because I bring spirit with me. We've been walking together all these years, but it's this platform that we can actually communicate with. So I leave it up to whatever drops on the, like, I like to use dice. So I use dice and I let spirit just kind of focus something on my board that we both worked on together and said, here's some core values, some core experiences we all have. And that's
Beautiful.
when we do that.
Okay, so I just want to backstep a little bit. I love that you brought up that you changed perspective. I think that was absolutely huge. You literally were looking at it from what was going wrong in your life, and then you literally changed perspective as to, okay, what is going right in my life? I think that's really important for everyone of us in this time and day, right? And then putting it onto a board. I love that whole process of the idea of the chessboard, the idea of the map, the idea of, possibly warring countries, I think you said. But yeah, just putting it onto a board. I know everybody's kind of like, okay, well, what does this board look like? And for myself, I was, like I said, I was part of the market testing. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to show a quick blip of what mine looked like first. So myself and another group of women were part of the market testing, and we were in awe, first of all, of just the detail that's in this board. And the first parts of it came out just essentially looking like this. Very, very straightforward on one hand, and it shows, it breaks it down into a couple different quadrants, 4 different quadrants, and it deals with 4 different parts of a person's life. And then she got all this incredible feedback. And tell me a little bit about the market testing first for that, if you don't mind.
Sure. I knew it worked for me, but could it work for anybody else? And it was so infinite as spirit is, to be able to put something like this into a physical, hands-on kind of an experience with just any tool that you happen to have. You could flip through a book. You could draw slips of paper out of a hat. You could, like fortune cookies or whatever. You could use actual oracle cards or mindfulness type decks or tarot or just about anything that has a specific meaning to you. And that's what I love about this so much, is that if you're coming from a real rigid, fear-based belief system that is saying, oh, you can't read cards, or oh, you can't do this, or whatever, that's fine. Bring what resonates with you. If that's your Bible, if that's your poems, if that's your science and health books, it doesn't matter. You'll be spoken to. And so
that was the purpose then of the market testing group, correct? Was just to see how other people could incorporate it into their lives, correct?
Yeah, I did my best to explain it, but it was interesting to watch these beautiful people actually pull it, try to figure out how would they navigate through these core values in their own way. And
what were the core values? What are the 4 sections of that game, so that people have a better understanding of where you're headed with this?
Okay, this is how I kind of see our lives. Like I said, it's all about relationship. And I framed this, so let's just say that your life is a sphere, and let's say we did a cross section like a MRI does, or if we could just slice through, what would it look like? And like an orange or whatever, you'd have your stem, which is the core of unconditional love. And then what you would be observing of is that you've got a body, right? And you've got emotions, you've got relationships, and you've got all your material stuff. And all that other stuff, your thoughts, your beliefs, the observation deck of spirit and so forth, that's all out here in this. I can't see it, I can't touch it, but it's there, it's real. And so that's the madness of me, how I was able to put together the spiritual theory with something that had some groundedness for me to take a look at. So inside each one of those is 36 little aspects. So some of the aspects could be like home. Most of us have a home, and most of us have an ego. Most of us have a need for rest, and others have maybe career and employment. But anyway, these little aspects, and it's a way for me to measure how I'm feeling about it. Am I on track? Have I met my goals? Do I have a frustration, or can I say, ooh, we're good there, don't worry about that, let's look at some of the other things that I'm wanting to really work on with spirit. So
let me say something here. Excuse me. What I love about this is that there's 36 aspects per quadrant, which makes 144. But also too, when you multiply that by the way the game is played, because there's 6 directions on each, like there's 6 across and 6 up and down, and when you add that in, like the possibilities are just in the hundreds and the thousands of what it is. And I know for myself, playing this game, I was amazed and even shocked in some cases of what was coming through for me when my dice or my little gem landed on a specific part, or the card that I drew. So maybe go a little bit into how this now is incorporated using the dice, and how you use cards or jewels or crystals or what have you in that.
Sure. So essentially, I always place my piece in the unconditional love, because to me, that's the elevator of heaven. Babies come down from heaven into unconditional love, right? And when you pass, you come back up into heaven in unconditional love, in that elevator shaft. So I always like to set my my gemstone right in there where it's at unconditional love. It's just if you could see this as a circle around it, kind of like this is a target, and if you were to shoot your arrows at the target, you would want to hit as close to the bullseye as possible, right? Well, unconditional love to me is the bullseye. So when I'm looking at any aspect on here that I'm feeling maybe conflict with or some sort of angst, I know that ultimately it's all being, I'm still on board, I'm still on target, I'm still okay. It's just that it's all going to bring me into unconditional love ultimately. The unconditional love is the key for peace, love, and happiness and joy and just that ease that we all are looking for. But life isn't going to give you always ease because there's so much in life that needs to be harmonized too and balanced. So it has taught me using this board to take and accept things that happen in my life in a manner that allows me to go, oh, it's on purpose. And it's okay because it's a journey, and every experience has a nugget of a gemstone inside of it. If you crack open everything that really is your big problem in life, the big complaint you have or whatever, there's always some kind of piece of wisdom there that you can glean from that. A little gemstone, if it's coal, it could be condensed in fire and pressure. It can really bring out a beautiful, clear, valued diamond from it, or like a pearl of wisdom. Pearls are usually a real irritation that gets inside gets smoothed and eased into this beautiful iridescent jewel of a gemstone that we call pearls. So I just love all the ways that Spirit gives us signs and symbols and reasons to step above the pain and anxiety that we tell ourselves is all wrong, when actually we can go, there's something beautiful deep within. That's why I love working with you so much, is you're amazing at doing that, and you expand me in that regard too. So
thank you. Okay, let's go into how about we do a little example for everybody, because I think it's really important for them to understand how this game can possibly work. And this is something that you can play with your kids. This is something you can play with your family. This is something you can do by yourself. I know for myself, there's a couple really important things that I wanted Carrie to hone in on. There's the peace, there's the harmony, and there's the flow. She brought up some really good questions or comments when she introduced the game to us in the market setting group, testing group. And one of the questions was, what am I conscious of? And then being able to release that. And what am I not seeing? Like, these are the type of questions that are really important. So let's use a prime example about, let's go real general and yet real specific. I would love for you to do a general reading right now about what am I conscious of in this group with regards to COVID and what's happening to the world, the transitioning that's happening.
Okay, we're going to go into the relationship realm.
Interesting.
Isn't it? And then I'm getting a 6 and a 2. So I go to my grid in the relationship realm, and
so just bear with me. I'm going to hold this up so people can kind of get an idea of what she's doing. So she's going into this relationship grid here, and then she's counting down the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then, oh my gosh.
So what word pops up?
I've got 2 aspects to choose from.
Ooh.
And 2 and 6. Depending on if I go to the 2 column or the 6 column, and then the 6 or the 2 row. See, I have in the relationship realm, I can look at relationships and I test that, and that's strong. And then the other one was world and humanity. Guess what? I got to do both.
Ooh,
I have to do
yeah.
both. I usually do one, but I leave it up to spirit to give me both if that's what we want to talk
Yeah.
about. Today, we're going to talk about relationships with world and humanity. That's
Yes.
big.
So while you're deciding what you're doing with this, I'm just going to get everybody to take a beautiful breath. And I'm going to do something that I saw yesterday with, I'm just going to put it on my screen for me here for just a moment, Carrie, so bear with me a moment. So everybody, if you don't mind, please, I'm going to do something that I saw and heard White Eagle medicine woman do yesterday on Time of the Sixth Sun. So what I'd love for you to do is to close your eyes and take a breath. And as you're taking a breath, I want you to feel that energy coming from the heart side in through your heart to the front. So take that breath and feel that breath going in from the back into the front. And now the opposite, take another breath and feel that going from the front into the back. Then feeling it coming from the left side, drawing a breath and feel that beautiful energy flowing from the left side of your heart through to the right side. This is a big topic, so if we just breathe our way through it here right now. Then drawing a breath and feeling it coming from the right side of your heart through your heart to the left side. Now drawing a breath and feeling it coming up from the core of Mother Earth through your heart to the crown and to the divine. And one from the divine through your heart to the core of Mother Earth. And just completing that cycle by drawing one last breath, drawing from the back of the heart and coming through the front of the heart. Asking that you be open with no expectations, no limitations, and being okay with the outcome. And allowing your mind, body, and soul to do what it needs to do to be healed and to hear the guidance that is coming through Carrie with this beautiful board game, the Soul Life Treasure Hunt. And so it is. Thank you. Go ahead, Carrie. Oh, wait a sec. You are muted. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Did I mute?
There you go. Perfect.
I don't. Okay.
I must have done it. One of us did it. We're good now, though. You're on.
Excellent. So beautifully done. Oh my gosh, that was gorgeous. And that reminded me of how we're always at the crossroads, head to core of the earth, to the left and right and left, and we're always at a crossroads of decisions, and we're all connecting everything in relationship. No matter what, there's always a pathway through to every aspect in our lives. So nothing's lost and nothing is what do you want to call, nothing is discarded. So with that said, this COVID is being used for great purposes. And so we're going to look at the core heart of the matter, which is, okay, that one just came out.
It flew out.
Time for a nap?
Wow.
Okay. And what I thought I was pulling out was flexibility. being flexible. Okay, so I'm going to put those two together at the heart center.
Can I just address this real quick, if you don't mind? Because there's some information coming through with that. I'm unsure who's watching what with regards to the COVID stuff, and there's so much information out there, and just really understanding that the information that's coming through with Carrie on this is for the highest good, is for the most benevolent reasons, okay? And when we talk about rest and flexibility, it's understanding those moments when your body has had enough. I talked on one of my Facebook Lives about moral fatigue and the stuff that's going on with regards to this, and the way that we're thinking currently versus how we used to just go through the day so obliviously before. That is why we were having this fatigue, this sense of being really drained, a sense of how tired our eyes are, etc. So when she's talking about the rest, or when the rest is being brought up versus through her game, that's where it's talking about, is the moral fatigue that we're suffering with right now, and just really stepping into an awareness of that, and the all-knowing of the moments that you need to take a break. Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome. And in all of our relationships, I know before this COVID situation, I felt a lot of fatigue. I always felt like I was always needing to push more, get through it. And this resting time has been welcome for me personally. And I think many people may not have appreciated the gift that it can be for you from the universe. As a global, remember, we're talking about relationships and world and humanity. So the world at large, even if you were taking good, relaxing care for yourself, the world at large, was it not just frantic, and it kept trying to get busier and busier, and there was more and more to do and more to keep track of. So
very much so.
So the world needed to take a break. So now we're going to take a look at something that is maybe under the surface of this that we haven't taken, we may not be as conscious of or aware. But this is something that would be what is the underlying energy underneath all of this? What is it trying to balance out? Like a recipe that is too sweet, maybe you need a little something that's a little more savory, or if a song is too sour, right, maybe you need a little salt in it, or maybe so on and so forth. So what are we looking at that needs to be balanced? Happy. I'm taking that to mean we have so much more happiness available to us that a crazy whirlwind world that we were in just could not meet up to. So that's what's being asked for in balancing.
I really need to step in and say something about this. Kate, I recently was realizing where I was with regards to what's going on in my love of life, that too. And I made a conscious decision to step more fully into doing things that were proactive for my life. And in doing that, things started to unfold. Yesterday, I went for a mountain bike ride with my husband, and the first thing I saw was truly a snake, a garter snake, and it was actually dead. It was lying upside down, but I got a picture of it both sides, yada yada yada. But then was eagles and flying eagles, and I caught this incredible picture of one flying to land with wings spread on a branch that another one was already sitting on. Then I saw Canada geese, and I saw loons, and then I saw an osprey and these flowers, and that's what Carrie's talking about when we're talking about happiness. It's connecting in and seeing all of these incredible things that are around you. Now, to me, that was a very powerful day, because not every day does someone walk down or bike somewhere and see so very much. However, when you are making the choice to step into something with a heightened awareness, it's incredible what can unfold around you. Just the buds on the tree. I've taken pictures of these buds, specifically the same buds on this tree outside of my trailer here, 2 different days during the week, and one they were all enclosed, and the next one they're actually starting to open. So the next picture that I'm going to get, they're going to be in full blossom. That's what we're asked to look at, is look at the things that are happening and being created all around us right now. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, you can almost see the childlike delight in just living a life that has sparkles and flourishes and energy and color. And she's sitting on top of almost an unconscious energy too, right? And she's balanced on it. So happy. Just, I don't know. Do you see that I'm just pulling cards just to pull a card? I mean, I feel the card that I want to pull. So now we're going to take a look at what we are aware of. What is the conscious energy that a lot of times it's where we take comfort and just know, oh my goodness, Treasure Island. Wow. Okay, Sandra, this to me, what a gift. What a gift. I mean, are we not all like going, this is so hard. This is so tough. It's so unprecedented. Yeah, and I know that there are some who are really suffering, but for the world and humanity in their relationship with each other, is that not kind of what we're looking at? Is that not the wisdom that we're
Truly
being given?
There's even I have a friend who is unsure on whether they're even going to be able to maintain their mortgage, and that probably lies true for a lot of people. And yet they have these incredible things happening within their family group. Flowers are coming to them, or phone calls, Zoom get-togethers. All these different things are happening around their family still. So it's this connectedness that's going to bring us together in a much bigger way. It's all these little treasures that are coming out right now in huge ways. I've spoken more with my granddaughter in the last month than we did, well, not over the last 10 months, but definitely far more frequently, because her dad is home all the time right now. We're soaking in that energy. And as much as we all miss each other, she's spending half an hour on a FaceTime with us. So that's the treasures. I love how you did that. You want to hold those up again for us to see, please?
This is on my smaller version, an 8x10 version. It's not big enough for me to normally do, but it's a beautiful size when I'm trying to, take photos and show it in a certain way. But essentially, the bottom card here is talking about the unconscious energy. And so that would be what we're looking for harmonizing our bodies and the material world, is really that unconscious energy underneath there, right? And then I remember I was trying to draw a part of the unconditional love. What's the unconditional love message? The anchor card here. Take time for a nap came in as just jumped out and said, oh, you're doing me right now. We're doing that. And then I thought I was pulling flexibility, but I like them both. So I'm going to keep them together at the center of my board. So that just reminds me it's time to relax. Just go jello, be flexible. Let what needs to be right now be that, because really, look at those gifts that we've been given. Time with our children. Are you kidding? What is our treasure? What are we working for if it's not for the next generations? And a world that they can inherit and have. I mean, seriously? What else is there?
I just had a huge wave of emotion come in with that, because what you said is bang on. It is truly bang on. Like who knew that what I was saying about all the incredible time I have with my kids now versus before, even though I'm not physically with them. You just brought that all together and connected it so beautifully by saying, yes, those are our treasures. They are our treasures. Wow. Wow. I don't, it just brought up such a huge
Yeah.
wave of emotion, and our pets are in their glory right now. If you have a pet, they're loving it, except for the cats. The cats are ho-hum. I don't care if you're home or not, but
All right. When
but
you go
still,
back to work,
yeah,
anyone.
yeah, exactly. So are you going to draw cards for the other two sides, the releasing and the coming in, or do you want to just leave it at that?
Oh, if we have time, I can sure do
Yeah,
that.
sure. Sure. Let's and then
Just
everybody has the full view of what this whole board is, all the four questions of it, like that. What am I conscious of? What am I not seeing? And then what's coming in and what am I releasing are the other two questions. And of course, this is just one aspect on how to play this game. There are so many different ways. I come in and I ask the board a question, and then I just shake the dice, first of all, to see which quadrant I'm using. And then I shake the dice to see where I'm going. And then I have this bag of crystals that I've got, and I literally will pull out. Well, for instance, here I got a piece of wood. Here's ancient wisdom. Here's roots. And really, when we're talking about treasures and our children and the harmony and the connectedness, what more can we get? How much more evidence can we get of how important this is? This being grounded, this being rooted, the information that's flowing because of what's going on is so profound right now. Anyway, I'll let you carry on. Carrie, I could go off on a
Oh, I
whole
love
tangent with
that.
this.
Exactly. Well, and that's the beauty of this. I look at the board and I see things like the position of where the aspects are and how the cards tell the story. They're just telling you the flow of what spirit's giving you a sense and a feel for. Like I said, I didn't always hear and see things, but from this, my eye gets pointed to something, just like back in the day when you might read a certain scripture. We're going to come into that. You may have read that piece of scripture for years, but one day in one setting with one thought in your mind, it took on a whole new meaning that you'd never gotten before. And I think that's what is the magic miracle of spirit talking to us. And that's why I love this board. I feel like it's the platform for spirit to guide my mind. And it's been astounding over and over. So we're going to say what the flow in, the message, what brought all this together? What brought all this together? And it was breathing.
Wow.
We needed to breathe, and that to breathe brought us into a place at the core, if you remember, where we just needed a nap. Isn't that what meditation does for us?
Yep.
And to just be flexible. So that, again, you're working the other roads coming into the center point of unconditional love. Where's the love in all of this? Because we need to know that, right? And there's something about when you feel like spirit's telling you, giving you life coaching in this way versus somebody else. Somebody else is going to tell you and you're going to go, yeah, but you don't understand me and you don't understand what I'm going through. And you don't know that what it's like to lose your job, or you don't know what it's like to be this or that. So
that was a beautiful lead in, because it's the confirmation is what this is though too, right? Because we are hearing, like, depending on who you're listening to, what energy are you listening to, who are you listening to? Are you listening to the news where they're talking about all the gloom and doom, or are you listening to people who are talking about taking a breath? because there's, and I can rattle off all kinds of names of people who I follow, like Dee Wallace, Marilyn Aloria, Jennifer McLean, all these people, this woman, this Time of the Sixth Sun, they keep talking about taking a breath. And that is what the world collectively is doing right now. And I love that this is what the card is the coming in, is this breath. This is one of the most powerful tools that we have. They teach it in yoga, they teach it in meditation, and all you have to do is take a breath. You stop, you literally stop the chaoticness as soon as you take that breath and connect with your lungs, and you get into that center of peace because of just taking that breath. So everybody, just for a moment, just take a breath before she shows us this next card.
Oh, I just want, yeah. And it's the breath of life. We don't have a life if we don't breathe, right? And so that deep, deep breathing is the thing that's going to give you the ability to have that sense of balance where you can actually go, okay, I'm going to be able to sit here and balance myself and center myself. I tell you, this has been an astounding reading. I mean, I'm loving it.
It is. I'm so, like, you know what? You can't make up this stuff. And who knew? Like, Carrie and I came into here with no specific topic other than the board game and bringing it to a bigger audience, because this is a really important tool for us to be using right now. And it is available where, Carrie?
Oh, on my website.
Okay.
I have.
So when you have a chance, throw it on there. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put the link for learning about it, and then there's a, you can get the game. Is that how I do that? I'm not sure how. No.
Yeah, just put it into the chat there on the side.
Host chat? Okay.
Down at the bottom. Yeah.
All right.
Not the host chat. Go public. I'm pretty sure you can hit public.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that I can pop it in there.
Okay, then I'll put it in. I'll add it.
Thank you. We'll do that later. Thank you, because I was running into problems. So okay, so what I've done is, I wish I could probably do this in a bit, but so we've got what's flowing in, right, from the left side into the heart, right? We're doing the breathing and into the heart where we were told to be flexible, take a nap, right? So if you can visualize the horizontal flow, right? What is the outcome? What's the projected? What are we going for? Where's that gonna flow out? What's the gift that could come from that if we do that properly, if we trust that? And it would be higher power.
Wow.
Sweet cheeks. I don't know. It's like, you know what? You were talking about a girl here who not psychic, not, really got all the woo-woo, but I have a heart for God. And this stuff is, I tell you, it's been amazing to just live with this for myself. It's like having, it's been beautiful because I can implement anything I want. Anything that's too woo-woo is like, okay, I'm not doing too woo-woo. But if I stay safe and secure with what I do know, then we're working and then we grow together. That's what my point was with this. I wanted people who were terrified of cards for whatever reason, they don't have to. One of the things that you'll get in the packet is a sheet, 6 sheets of these little card slips. So you just cut them up. There's 12 to a page. So there's 72 of these little, what I call gems. You there? Yeah. And so then you can do either a couple of things. You cut them up and you've got them like little cards. Because if you don't have cards, these will work too. And they're kind of fun. And so what I did is I just kind of cut them all up and I folded them up and I just make a little grab bag. Let's see what that one said. Appreciate what is.
Gratitude. Yeah.
So there's a be content in the center of your being. Be present, aware, allowing what you are currently experiencing.
Wow.
That was just me writing up little ditties because somebody said, well, what about people who don't have cards? Oh, all right, I'll make something up.
I've
And
got another one too. When I've done this on your board and I've not used the cards, I've just used the dice and I've gone to the whatever quadrant comes up and gone into whatever, and our word has come up, like you said. So I'm just going to put my finger on there. We're in relationships, right? So I'm just going to put my finger on there, and it says something about loyalty and respect. So what I do then is I ask for guidance. I literally will do a 25-minute automatic writing around loyalty and respect with regards to relationships, with regards to this, what the topics are today: COVID, the world, and humanity. And I would just use all of those in the form of a question on what do I need to know about loyalty and respect? How can I bring loyalty and respect to this? And just let that unfold in an automatic writing. And writers can use this game. Poets can use this game. Songwriters can use this game. Artists can use this game. This game is made for everybody. Doing it. Tell us how you use it with the kids, with your children.
well, it just there's a just basically just about any way that they want to do. I haven't really done it with my real little ones yet, but I know some other people have, and they thought it was super fun because they didn't use cards necessarily, but the kids took like little gemstones or jewel type. You can grab your jewelry boxes, old grandma's jewelry boxes, and you can toss around
Oh
her
yeah.
earrings and necklaces and rings, and everybody can just kind of, and they would place the however they want, and then they talk. They just talk, and you can do it like a tic-tac-toe type thing where maybe you want to fill in a line, and somebody else wants this line and somebody else wants that line, and you take turns and you put it down, and then you have a word to say how it makes you feel or what it brings up in you,
Wow.
what experience it has, or your hopes and dreams. And so if you're working with little ones, you can talk a lot about how life is really all about being really aligned with hope, love, or peace, love, and harmony. If you can
Yep.
get that centered feeling ever, and then you have to learn how to be flowing on the sea of the waves, kind of like if you're on a boogie board and you just kind of let it, but you can be balanced on it. And if you lean too far one way, or well, then maybe you can catch yourself and you can get yourself a little more balanced out on the other side of things. There's a lot of practical ways to help kids understand that there's ways to manage their emotions and to think about others and their relationship with nature, to take better care of their health. Maybe they notice that if they don't drink enough water, they get thirsty. They don't get enough sleep, they get cranky. And you can work through that with them. One of the things that's on the board in the packet is a journaling page for those who need, kind of, so it's a place, and we're going to do a simpler version of this on the 22nd, but essentially it gives you spaces to put your cards down, the keywords, the information, and then to write yourself a love letter from Spirit. If Spirit has come to you to guide you through the board, let Spirit further guide you with that automatic writing, just listening. It's a listening feeling for me. I can almost hear the words, but it's more like it's a feeling hearing that I can't tell if I'm hearing anything really, but I can feel the vibration of the words just like it is hearing. And so I can take dictation at that point. And so that's what we'll do next time. And then there's a guidebook. And then there's a guidebook. So all of this is a download in PDF forms, and you download it. You do have to put together the board a little bit. It'll come in 2 sheets because I like the size of it better. So even if you don't have a color printer like mine, you can do it on black and white. And then you would just fold and tape the 2 pieces together, and it would look something like this. So it's just a modality
I love your
for being
version
able to
now.
create it.
I love how far you've come with this.
It's been quite the journey, and I've learned so much.
This has been so exciting. I really wanted to highlight something right here too, is that we have a really good opportunity right here as as humanity, I guess you could say. Schools are literally shut down, and teachers are shifting gears, and they're learning how to do things a little bit differently. And with this too, we really have to start to focus on what's important in school that should be taught in school. We have a program in Hinton, Alberta called CALM, and that's career and life management. And you know what? Something along that lines should be taught from a very young age. And what you were just saying, Carrie, about being able to talk about your feelings so openly, you know, especially if you bring this board into your home and you starting it now. You know, this is what's so key, is we could be teaching our children how to very easily express their feelings in a safe environment where they feel comfortable, so that they have the tools and they have the ability to do so when they leave and go back to the schools or whatever. Maybe we will have a far less bullying in some cases, because we've now taught our children how to breathe, how to connect with their feelings, and how to express their feelings. And this goes for every single one of us. All of these tools are very important for all of us. If we've never learned how to do that, this is a beautiful, beautiful place to start, is with this board game. Very powerful.
Yeah, no, and, you know, if you've ever been given like calendars that have inspirational thoughts, and you always tear off the next day, you know, to see the next day. Each day you pull it off. Well, you've got these beautiful quotes. What are you going to do with them? Well, I'm saying put them in a bag and use them with the game, and let those things that touch you love so much, because there's something about them that says, yes, that is something I innately do connect with. And I love that thought about life. I mean, there are fun little decks like 101 Ways to Stop Worrying and Start Living. You could use these little decks. It doesn't have to be anything oracle, or, I mean, you know, there's love yourself kind of cards, there's affirmation cards, there's you know, just, you can use your angel decks, you can use we've talked about, you know, little flip books, and just anything that you care about.
I even see numbers coming into play, like using numbers, cards that have just numbers, and looking up the symbolism of that number afterwards, because the numbers all have significant meaning as well. There's just so many, and like I said before, drawing a crystal out when you get there and looking up the symbolism of what that crystal is. If it's tourmaline, if it's obsidian, what is important about that with regards to all of these different things right now.
And why did you pick that over the others? Why did that one feel like that was the right one for this aspect? You just picked just because it feels, or I think color therapy could be anybody with that tendency to, they could use that. I used the board initially as an inventory of my life, and I sat back going, oh my gosh, I thought I hadn't manifested anything. I went through each aspect and said, have I ever done this or experienced this once in my life? Just once. The board was full of green. I chose green for the moment. It was filled with green, and I'm like, oh, you mean I'm a manifester? I didn't know that. I never knew that. It's an open platform board. So bring whatever you love, whatever you like, shamanic or Christian or angelic or spirit guides or zodiac numerology, but don't matter. Bring
Use buttons. colored buttons.
Done that
who,
too.
who doesn't have the drawer full or the little jar full of buttons, right?
Jelly beans, then
Yeah.
eat them when you're done.
Yeah.
Have a little sweetness in life and go, oh,
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, this has been so absolutely powerful, and I really love how you laid it out, Carrie. I think this is probably one of the most clearest, and you're just really starting to hone in on how you want to express yourself and how you want to express your game and how you want people to express themselves in it. And I love watching the evolvement. Excuse me, going from I have going from this beautiful piece of paper to where we're at now, and or to where you're at now, and I'm just love the journey. Absolutely been loving the journey, and so thrilled to be a part of that journey and part of your tribe. Thank you so much for being on here with us. If anybody has a question, ask it now. Otherwise, put some questions on after. I see there's not a whole lot of movement on that chat stuff, which is fine. That's good. That's good too. There's a reason for everything.
Well, it's new. It's so unique. I've not seen anything else quite like this. So yes, people are probably just going, wow, okay. Yeah. It's interesting, but yeah, they're going to have to absorb a little bit. So yeah.
So we had some really powerful information come through with regards to COVID today and the world and humanity. And Carrie showed us how to play the game in one aspect with that, with regards to that for the whole group, which was beautiful. So join us, please join us when she personally is on April 22nd, on Thursday, April 22nd. That's at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and noon Eastern, and all the other time zones. Where Carrie will actually be doing some readings with us, and we'll have a much stronger opportunity to do that. And I think what we'll do maybe then is split into little groups or something like that, or we'll just do something fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll figure stuff out and go from there. So please join us then. And I really appreciate your being here, Carrie. I look forward to seeing the growth of this game and how it spreads like wildfire. And I can feel the energy of that. And you've done some beautiful work around feeling the energy of that, and it's starting to come into fruition just in the little things like this, where you actually are being able to speak about it in a much clearer way. And I love it. I love the energy of that. I love you. You're great.
Oh, thank you. Back at you. Yeah, we know definitely you can do this with groups, so we could play with it next time. So
yeah. So join Carrie and I on April 22nd. This has been Sandra Pelley, the Sandini, and Carrie Farmer. So thrilled that you're all here. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.